Today's video is going to be a back to school checklist and ways to survive your school year. So I just came up with some tips that I actually think are helpful. It's like life hacks, but I think they're actually useful. And they're tips that I actually use. I think will be very helpful to you, not just something you'd watch in a video but never actually use. I think you can actually take these and use them. So I'm really excited about this video. So if you want advice on how to take good notes, do well in essays, make friends, and just how to be comfortable in class, definitely stay tuned for this video and I'll be giving you guys some tips on that. If this is your first time here at my channel, definitely make sure to subscribe to get notified whenever I post new videos. I'm really excited for this upcoming back to school season and the fall and just fall fashion. And also make sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video. I think it's very important to be comfortable in class, whether that be being at the correct temperature or just feeling good about yourself, being confident, and being prepared. I think it's always a good idea. This is kind of simple, but I just want to remind you, always bring like a denim vest or some denim jacket or just a jacket so you can put that over yourself, because classrooms are so weird. They're either so hot or they're so cold. So I always bring a jacket just in case, because being cold is so miserable for me and I get cold a lot, so definitely keep a jacket and be prepared in that way. I think it's also good to bring a water bottle to class. I get really dehydrated throughout the day. Just having a water bottle is nice to have. And also, I don't know of any specific brands, but just get the water bottles that are like metal and keep your water cold for the whole day. Like if you put ice, there's water bottles that if you put ice in it, it will last 24 hours, and those water bottles for some reason make me so happy. Before you go back to school, you should prepare your first day outfit, or I guess your whole first week outfits, so that you can have outfits that you know you're really comfortable in and you can walk into your first week or days of school feeling really confident in yourself. And I also recommend doing that for your makeup, to just get a routine going that you're like, okay, this is not too much, this is not too little, and I feel good in it. And just kind of set all that makeup out on your desk or your vanity, and you can just quickly put that on in the morning and do something that's easy but you also feel great in. I think if you're confident in yourself and the way you're dressed and the way you look, you can bring that confidence to other things like your schoolwork and making friends. So I think those go hand in hand. First school supply essential that I think is so necessary is an accordion. I just have this one. I'm going to be giving this away. If you watch my school supplies haul, you can enter this. I showed this in it. But anyways, I love these. They just open up and they have tons of different sections. And I just label them for each of my classes and put my homework in. For if I have math, I'll put my math homework in a section. And I just think this is so much easier than a binder, which gets super messy and unorganized. I think this is a lot more neat. It's just cute, so I always use these. They're really great. Also a planner, self-explanatory, but use this. Like if you're organized, use it. If you're unorganized, use this. It will help you in your life so much. Definitely make an investment in one of these, whether it's an expensive one or just a really affordable one. Planners are essential. Then I also recommend investing in some nice pens. These ones are the Uniball by Uni. They're just like fine gel pens. I love gel pens that write smoothly, so I definitely recommend these ones. There's just something about a good pen that makes note-taking a lot easier and a lot more fun. I have 2 tips on ways to do better in class and to make good grades. So the first one is to ask your teacher questions. I was always a kid that was raising my hand in class and asking questions, and I was like, I don't want people to think I'm dumb and just don't know the answers, but that's totally the opposite. If you look around and notice, it's always the smartest kids that are asking the questions, and that's because they're listening and want to understand the material and learn as much as they can about it. By raising your hand and asking questions, it will let the teacher know that you're paying attention and want to learn. And even if you're nervous around your teacher on the first couple weeks of school, definitely still try to raise your hand and get involved. It will give them a really good first impression of you. Okay, I know this is hard, especially if you're somebody that likes to socialize, but sit in the front as much as possible if you can. You can get so distracted if you're in the back, and then you know what happens when you're distracted? The teacher calls on you when you're like fooling around or just not paying attention because you're in the back, so it's hard to pay attention, and they call on you and you have to like read aloud or answer this math question and you have no idea what's going on. That is so embarrassing. I mean, I'd rather just sit in the front and pay attention all class than get called out when I'm not ready. It'd be super embarrassed in front of the whole class. So sit in the front, it'll make a good first impression and you'll get better grades. Another way to get good grades is just to make sure to take good notes. Another way to make taking notes more fun is to use colorful pens or just organize well with highlighting and stuff like that. Notes is so important, and then you can look over it before tests, and girl, trust me, taking notes is essential. The next tip is to do as much extra credit as possible. So if your teacher offers extra credit in class, take him or her up on the offer and do it. Also, if your grade is like kind of going lower, you're getting towards the end of the semester and you like have an A minus but you want an A, go up to your teacher and ask them for extra credit. I've learned that teachers absolutely love seeing that their students care enough about their work and their grades to go up to them and ask for more work. Like, who wants more work? A student that wants to get good grades. So trust me, they'll take you up on the offer and give you more schoolwork that you can get extra points and boost that grade up. So I did this a lot when I had to write essays, and what I did was type in Google essay checker, and then websites will come up like Paper Rater, and let me see what the other one is. Oh, polishmywriting.com, and you can just copy and paste your whole essay that you just wrote, and after it processes your paper, it will show you what grammar mistakes you made, spelling mistakes you made, and it'll also kind of rate you on your vocab, so it can give you like suggestions on better words to use that are more advanced. So I think it's really cool, and it really helped me finish off my papers because, oh, here's why I did it. I remembered. So you have your rough draft that you turn in, and the teachers are like, you have a night to do this, but don't worry, it's just the rough draft. I'm like, the rough draft is the whole paper. Like, I write the whole paper on my rough draft. So I do my rough draft, and then you have a whole month to do the final draft, and literally, like, there's nothing else to do because you already wrote your rough draft, which is the whole paper. I would take my rough draft when the final draft was due, and I'd put that in these essay checkers, and then that will kind of change some of the things that I need to change up and just find the things that I might not notice. So that's why I liked it, and it was really useful. Sorry for that whole spiel, but that got me really heated about rough drafts and how teachers are like, don't worry about it, it's just the rough draft, when really it's like the whole paper. To keep your locker organized, choose a locker organization system that works well for you. So I've seen people get like these kind of blocks that you can put at the bottom of your locker, and that is for if you don't have enough room for your books. So you can just buy that. You can get them at Target, Walmart, Meijer, I don't know, places that you get school supplies, and you just put it at the bottom of your locker, and then you have a lot more additional storage, and it just makes your locker so much more organized. Another tip that I have for your locker is to make sure that your books are upright and not like laying down. That just makes it look super messy, and it's hard to get your books out quickly if you're going from class to class. It's nice to keep them upright and you can just pull them out. This is a great tip for all my high schoolers, especially if you're a freshman. The first few weeks of school, I would always get so stressed about what class I had to go to next, and actually I'd walk into the wrong classes at times. Like, that is so embarrassing. So a tip that I have is just to print out your class schedule and tape that up on your locker, or just write it on like a dry erase board that you have in your locker so that you have your schedule there, and every time you go to your locker in between classes, you can be like, okay, this is the class I have next, and you can go to it and be sure that you're not at the wrong class, because it's so embarrassing. Like, I don't think there's anything more embarrassing. I know this is hard, but try to avoid being shy. Even if shy is like a natural tendency of yours, try to push through it. And the first couple weeks of school, there's going to be 2 people beside your locker, and whenever you see them in between classes, try to start up some conversation with them. Ask them how their classes are going, what classes they have, see if you have any possible classes together. Also ask them what lunch that they have. I know a lot of high schools have different lunch groups, so try to find people that will be in the same lunch group as you. It is just so not fun to go to lunch and not have anybody there to sit with and not have a plan of where you're going to go, and then you just have to wander around and like look for people that you know. It's just not fun at all. It's really actually sad, and I hated it. Definitely talk to the people beside your locker, try to make friends with them and figure out what lunch they're going to. Also, when it's possible, try to make conversation with people in your classes and find out what lunch they're going to, so then you can have just like a whole group of people that you know you're going to sit with at lunch. Definitely make plans with people, because it is indeed stressful if you don't have a plan of where you're going to sit for lunch and with who. My last tip is to leave people better than the way you found them. And I think this is so important, to just always be uplifting to people, and if their spirits are low, make them happy. If their spirits are already happy, make them happier when they're around you. I think with this mindset, you can avoid so much drama this school year and just make actual good friends and not be involved with everybody that's petty and just wanting to get drama. This way people know that you're somebody that's uplifting and a really good person. So you're going to make some great friends this way. Just keep that mindset in mind. I think it's so essential. So that was it for this back to school checklist. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope these tips can make your school year a little bit more easier to manage and survive. I really do hope you guys have a great school year, and I'll be praying for all of you. Also, feel free to message me on Instagram or in the comments, and we can just chat about what you're worried about for school, and I can try to give you advice on that, because I'm here for you guys and I'd love to help you guys out a little bit. I wish I could keep talking, but I need to go to the post office to mail some clothes that I sold on Depop. Check that out if you haven't already. I'm selling some great stuff. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Love you all. Bye!